Hi to everyone. MEM School of Engineering, Department of Mechanical Engineering, online classes, subject code ME8791, title Mechatronics, unit number 2, myself Saravanan, assistant professor in the Mechatronics department. So this is the course objective and outcome of Mechatronics, syllabus for Mechatronics, then textbooks and reference, unit 2. So last 3 chapters we discussed about architecture of 8085, pin diagram of 8085, addressing modes and instruction sets. Okay, these are the basic concepts of 8085. So that is when we go for programming 8085, we need to know the basic architecture of 8085. That means um, we can uh, we can know. So what are the internal functional diagram of 8085 like that? We can learn from the 8085 architecture. Then pin diagram. So this is for output connection. We need to know the pin diagram for external input output devices or external device control like that. We need to know pin diagram. For programming purpose, we need to know addressing modes and instruction set. Then only we know that different kind of instruction set as well as different kind of operands they are using. Okay. So next one is timing diagram. So why we go for timing diagram of 8085? This is it is the image representation or it is a graph representation of 8085 instruction execution. Okay. So already we discussed that we have a lot of instructions in that is 246 instructions in 8085. Okay, which type of instruction we need to use for a particular program we need to know, because for addition program we can write with 4 instructions, as also we can write with the 100 instruction for addition program. Okay, this is the concept. So we need to use minimum number of instruction in the particular program. So we need to know the T state, that is timing state like that they call. So timing state, that means for one instruction execution for one time cycle, that is T state. Okay, like that we are going to discuss for one instruction. For example, move a comma b going to execute. Okay, how many time cycles it will record. So that is the concept of time diagram. It is a picture representation to know about the, so where we are read the data, where we are write the data, then how many clock pulses required to execute the instruction like that. Because uh, at the same time we can use move and add. Okay, but if you are using which one is best like that, we can done by the timing diagram. That is a total of how many T states required to execute like that, we are going to calculate in the timing diagram of 8085. Let's see one by one. This is the 8085 architecture. Pin diagrams, addressing modes, different kind of addressing modes. So we discussed with the particular examples. This is the instruction set. Last class we discussed. There are different kind of instruction group. (8085) timing diagram. A timing diagram is a graphical representation. It is represent the execution time taken by each instruction in a graphical format. The execution time is represented in T states. So this is the concept. So here we need to know 3 cycles. That is an instruction cycle, the time required to execute the instruction. For a particular instruction, time required to execute the instruction called instruction cycle. Measured cycle means the time required to access the memory or input output device. The access the time required to access the memory or input output device. That is already we discussed memory read, memory write, input output read, input output write. That is called machine cycle. Got it? That is, in memory we are going to read and write. There are two operations: memory read and memory write. In our external input output device, we are going to read and write. So that is input output read and input output write. These are the machine cycle. So as well as opcode fetch. Okay, that is we are getting the opcode from the memory only. So that is the concept of opcode fetch. It is also one type of machine cycle. Next, T state. The machine cycle and instruction cycle takes multiple clock periods. A portion of operation carried out in one system clock pulse is called T state. Because the machine cycle work in a, one machine cycle required three states. Like that, it will require to execute using three clock pulses. Okay, that is one clock pulse is called T state. So this is the time period and the frequency concept. So this is the clock pulse. So this is the one state, one on, one off, one on clock pulse. So that is the one state. Okay, for a particular machine cycle, it will require three machines, three T state or four T state like that. Okay. So using frequency, we can define the time period because most of the processor having 5 megahertz, 10 megahertz like that. Okay, so time period T is equal to 1 divided by 5 megahertz. So that is differ 20 millisecond or 20 microseconds will be like that for execution of the one T state. Okay, this is define the speed of instruction execution. So nowadays CPUs are working at 2.5 gigahertz. Okay, you imagine T is equal to 1 divided by that is T is equal to 1 divided by 2.5 gigahertz means it will work in the nanoseconds. Okay, so only nowadays systems are very fast and accuracy. So timing diagram, this is 7 basic machine cycles. So already we discussed in the last topic, that is machine cycles. So first one is opcode fetch cycle. It is it is required 40 or 60. T means T state. Then memory read, memory write, input output read, input output write, interrupt acknowledgement cycle. Then bus ideal cycle. Okay, so memory read, memory write, input output read, input output write. They require three states, sorry, three T state. Interrupt acknowledgement required 60 or 12 T state. So this is the concept of selecting the which machine cycle we are going to use. Okay, already we discussed, that is IOM. So IOM define the which location we are going to access, whether we are going to access the memory or whether we are going to access the input output device. So if you want to access the memory means you have to put 0. If you want to access the input output means you have to put 1. Okay, same as here S1 and S0. If both the values are 0 and 1 means it is right, 1 and 0 means it is read. 0 and 1 means right, 1 and 0 means read. So this is the concept. If both the values are 1, that is opcode fetch with respect to the memory. Okay, because all the instructions opcode will store in the memory only. So we are selecting the memory. If both the values are 1, it will define the opcode fetch. Then interrupt acknowledgement. If in the input output devices we can get the interrupt value. So S1 and S0 value 1 means it will be interrupt acknowledgement concept. So here all the values, all the control signals are working here active low signal. That means if these values are 0, out the control signal will be enabled. That is RD bar is equal to 0 means read process will be defined. WR is equal to 0 means write process will be defined. So this is the example of opcode fetch cycle. That is 4 T state. That is T state 1, 2, 3, 4. That is each clock pulse low and high, low and high. So this is the general format of describe the timing cycle. Describe the timing cycle, that is timing diagram. First you have to write the clock. Then so clock already we know that if you are using 12 T statement you have to use 12 clock pulses. Then address, higher order address. Okay, higher order address like that they are defining. Then lower order address maximum it will be in multiplexer, that is 80 to 87. that is shown like this. That is ALE. So ALE should enable because it is active high. When one, it will be enabled. So every clock pulse started, that is every machine cycle started, the ALB should be enabled. Okay, for example, this is the opcode fetch. If you're adding extra read means you have to read the concept, the latch will be enabled. That is ALE will be enabled for the every machine cycle. Then this is the condition. This condition written from the previous table. Okay, opcode fetch means what we did. That is, we need to select the memory. Then we need to define the S1 and S0 value. So we need to select the memory means you have to put 0. If you are selecting the opcode fetch means you have to put 1 1. Okay, this is the concept here. They are written. Then opcode fetch is a read process. Okay, so read process will enabled when opcode is enabled. That is the concept. When read enabled, the opcode will be loaded into the address and the data bus. Got it. So this is the concept. That is, when RD is equal to low, then only we can fetch the data from memory. That is a read concept. So that what's explained in this cycle. This is the memory read cycle. Okay, in memory read cycle, same clock pulse same, address same, and address lower address bus same, ALE same. Here memory read already is told that we are selecting the memory. For read cycle it will be 1 0. Okay, for write cycle it will be 0 1. That is 10. So read enabled in the second and third state. So that time only we can get the data. Memory write cycle. So this is the clock pulses. So same AD15, AD0 to AD7, ALE. So you are selecting 0 1 and memory. Then write operation because it is a memory write. So when write, then only this data will be loaded into the address and data bus. Okay, got it? Input output rate. So yeah, all the machine cycles are same concept. Okay, clock pulses AD0 to AD15. So ALE input output read same. Here only the status will change it from change. Input output raise cycle. Here they are using port address for input output operation. They are not using the data address like that. They are using port address. So AD15 is a port address. So AD072 port address and data. ALE. So write then input output operations like that we can define. Okay, let's see a example for timing diagram. Okay, in university exam they will ask sketch the timing diagram for STA526A instruction in 8085 microprocessor like that they ask them. Okay, first you need to know so how many bytes it is required. So already we said so already I said that is three types of instructions are there. Okay, so when we see the STA526A, we know that it is a 3-byte instruction because it is having 16-bit value in the operand. So it is a 3-byte instruction. First, you have to write the 3-bit instruction opcode value. Sometimes they give the opcode in the problems. Otherwise, you can put some values for opcode. Okay. So that is STA526A. So opcode for STA will be 32. Then remaining value 526A. That is you have to write reverse in the 8085. About 526A means you have to write first 6A then 52. So this is the concept. Okay, then how many read and write and opcode fetch cycles will be required? We need to know because STA means store accumulator value to the particular memory location. Okay, that means we need to opcode fetch. Opcode fetch. So we need to define the opcode. When read memory. When read memory. Because we are going to read the two types because we have 16-bit. So we need to do two types of values. Then write. Okay. Then write the value. So a value should write into the memory. That is particular memory. This is the concept. So if we know these values, so which may what are the machine cycles used means if we know it is a simple operation. Okay, if you know this, how many of generally there will be a opcode fetch cycle will be one. Then how many is read state, how many write state you have to know. Okay, depend on the instruction size instruction. Okay, so opcode fetch 40 state, memory read 3, again memory read 3, then memory write. Okay, let's see the timing diagram. Okay, here see the memory, sorry, STA timing diagram. First they put opcode fetch 4 cycle, then memory read 3 cycle, and memory write read 3 cycle, then memory write 3 cycles. Totally there are 13 T state. This is the time required for instruction, time required for instruction execution. Okay, so got it. So that is clock pulses. So totally we required 13 clock pulses, then AD0 and AD7 value. Okay, so that is every clock pulse. First one is opcode is 32. Next read cycle of 68. Next read cycle of 52. Then write the value C7. So C7, which is A7 A data, because we are storing the accumulator value into the memory. Okay, so C7 is a accumulator value. Then AD8 to AD15, so that is address. Okay, this is the address. So 41, 42, 42, because it is the address. So first we did some one now, that is address 41, 42, 42. Okay, so that 52 will be the final output address. Okay, okay. So then ALE, so already we told that ALE have to enable for the every first hour. Okay, sorry, every first machine cycle. So machine cycle every time. So let's see, you see that every first clock cycle, first machine cycle it will be enabled. Okay, then read low, here read low, here read, because in opcode we are reading the opcode, then in memory read we are reading the memory, again memory read we are reading, but in the memory read will be one. That is the one means it will read will be disabled. So same in memory write only we are enable the write. So remaining values are 1. So this value will be 0 because active low condition. Same as input output signals. For opcode fetch it will be 0 1 1. For memory read it will be 0 0 1. For memory read again 0 0 1. For memory read it will be 0 1 0. This is written from the table from. Okay, this is the concept. Next. So timing diagram of INCO. This is the example for input output read and input output write cycle. That is, we are fetching that data from some memory. So this is a opcode fetch, memory read, and the input output read. Okay, that is we are in means we are reading the data from the input output device. For example, if you are connecting the switches with the microprocessor, means for a particular switch we can get the status whether it is 0 or 1, like that we can read the data. That is 4125 and 4126. It is a 2-byte instruction, so we are defining the two input values. Okay, this is the timing diagram. Okay, machine cycle 1, machine cycle 2, 3. First one is opcode, second one is memory read, and final one means input output read. Okay, then clock pulses, then AD to 15, then AD0 to AD7, ALE already told that that is read. So finally write. So finally input output read. This is the concept. So we have in another different kind of timing diagrams like this. So this is the 8085 timing diagram. So simple concept, that is graphical representation of execution of instruction, that is in timing diagram. Okay, it is done by the okay, so it is done by the different cycles. Mainly we have to know what are the cycles available. So what is instruction cycle, so what is machine cycle, and what is T state, like that we can define. You got it? Okay, so next class we will see the 8051. So this up to this it is a 8085. It is a microprocessor. So next class we will see the microcontroller. First we need to know, so what is the difference between microcontroller and microprocessor. Okay, so like that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, thank you. We will see in the next class.